Hey everyone, this is Brandon Cousins coming back to you again. I just wanted to create a second video. The last time I created a video, I was out walking. I just randomly decided to do it and just was walking around the track in my hometown. It was just a beautiful day. And the theme behind that was be more, do more. I think we said more, do more, but the idea here is I don't want to be dishonest here. I really have felt lethargic lately, since that day probably. So it's funny how I decided to walk around the track. I was getting the energy. I was enjoying myself. It was a good long video. And I was telling y'all, be more, do more. And I'm going, I need to do more. And the question is, did that happen? And the reality is no. Like, I've been lethargic. I've been apathetic. I haven't been motivated. And so I want y'all to know that that's where I'm at. But I want to work through this together. I want to do more, but I haven't done as much as I would like. That's the question I want you, though, to ask yourself. Have you done as much as you would like? Have you done more? The other question to ask is maybe, are you feeling a lack of motivation? Are you feeling lethargic? Are you feeling apathetic? I don't think you're alone in that. I think a lot of people are feeling that. I heard someone say something that I don't know why I remember this, but for some reason November is going to be a month where we're kind of in a fog, and I don't want that to be the case. Can we fight through it? So this video is about getting out of the rut. We want to get out of the rut, so we want to do more, but we got to start somewhere. So if you want to do that with me, if you want to get out of a rut, then just keep listening, okay? So it's been a couple weeks since I posted a video. My last video was about doing more, like I said. As you might remember, on the spur of the moment, I decided to video myself while I was walking around the track. It was a gorgeous day, beautiful. You kind of saw the sun in the background. I mean, isn't that the type of day you want to go and walk or run or exercise, whatever you want to do? Usually that's the case, but I don't. I actually have not walked since. So I think sometimes God's a little funny in that we decide we're going to do something and then something gets in the way. I don't know if God calls that, but I think maybe that's the devil kind of coming in and saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna let you do more than that." And so we need to fight through that. We need to get stronger. We need to battle through that. We need to ask God to be behind us and help us. So, but I was talking about doing more. It was shortly kind of after Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. And the reason why I thought I wanted to talk about that is because with some of my staff and with other people, I talked with them about what they kind of got from Hurricane Helene. And because we got it really bad here, but Hurricane Milton, they had it really bad in Florida. And we all talked about how we didn't want to go back. We just wanted to remember the things we had learned, that we had lights out for a while. We were helping each other. It was very, I guess you could say, we loved each other. We helped each other. We came together as a community and we worked through it. I mean, there's still a lot of evidence around here that we got hit hard. There's tree trunks and logs like piled up, 10 feet high, if not higher, along the roadside, and they're cleaning that up steadily, but that's just kind of memories. It's not supposed to go away. But I think we sometimes come to a place where life just keeps going and we tend to forget. And I didn't want to forget, so I was doing that video. I was reminiscing on the idea that I did not want to let the moment go by without capitalizing on the change and the growth of the moment. So with that said, to some extent, I think the be more, do more attitude is I want to, I just recognize I could do more. And I know y'all can do more. And there's something within all of us that wants to be more than what we are. And yes, we get into this apathetic mode, or we kind of get complacent. And I just know from, as a counselor, a lot of my clients that come in, a lot of the reasons that they're struggling is because they're either complacent or they're not motivated or apathetic. And I want to speak to those people. I know there are other people that aren't. They work all the time. They're busy. They're making life happen. They're helping people. This video may not be for those people, but maybe it is. Maybe they can comment and help others. What are some ideas that you might have to be more, do more? And I think one of the things that we struggle with is motivation. So this video I want to talk about when I said if you are stuck, let's talk about motivation. Let's talk about tips and ways to get going. Because if you don't get going, you can't do more, be more. We just got to start somewhere. So some questions to ask yourself maybe when you're not motivated is, what are you grateful for? You know, I kind of get up in the morning, I try to ask myself that, and I try to meditate on that and think about that. What am I grateful for? What am I thankful for? My family, my friends, air to breathe, life, trees, etc. Why do I do that? It's because that gets the positive thoughts in me, because otherwise I could dwell on the negative. So that's the other side of it, is shut down those negative thoughts. They're not helping you. Have you ever felt better after thinking something negatively? No. So, but, you know, a lot of people might say, well, it's hard to shut down those negative thoughts. Well, I understand that. That doesn't mean that you just need to give up, right? That does mean, though, that it's a habit sometimes to think negatively. Sometimes it's something you're going to have to break. And breaking a habit takes time. It takes consistency. It takes the ability to just continue to discipline yourself. And when you do see that you're doing this negative thinking pattern, then you stop it and you go the opposite direction, despite how you feel. So we got to take feelings out of it, because I think that's part of the reason why we become lethargic or unmotivated, is we're feeling like, oh, well, this isn't even worth it. But it is. It's worth it. So we got to change that thought pattern. What are you grateful for? That's part of changing that thought pattern. The next question would be, what's your goal and purpose? You know, if you don't have a goal or purpose for whatever you're doing, and it's not a good one or one you like or one that's enjoyable, you're probably not going to do it. It's kind of like when I was in school, my parents were like, hey, you need to read more because you'll learn to grow and read more. Well, you know what? I hated reading in high school. My brother was a great reader. My son now even is a great reader. I hated reading in high school. But so I didn't read that much. I wish I had. But the idea there is I wasn't motivated to do it because it wasn't fun. It wasn't enjoyable. It was hard for me. And I wish I had the mindset we're talking about now so that I could get out of that. Because when I got in college and graduate school, I had to read a lot more than I had ever read in life. But because I was, I guess you could say, forced to do that and made to do that, I actually learn to like reading and to enjoy soaking up the knowledge and the information. So, but I had to do it consistently, day in, day out. And the more I did it, I got better. So in that sense, I wasn't really motivated, except I did have a goal and I did have a purpose. My goal was to graduate. And my goal and purpose was to become a counselor. So because that was pushing me and behind me, I did the reading. I did the things I needed to do. Some of us have gotten complacent because we don't really have a step or a goal, and we need to make one. What's your goal? Are you wanting to get out of debt? Or you want to lose weight? Or you want to deal with your mental health issues, not be depressed anymore, not be angry? What is it that you want to do? And a lot of times we need to place that in a positive frame of reference. Like, if I want to lose weight, that's a good frame of reference. I want to put details behind that. I want to be 180 pounds or 140 pounds by this time. Well, if that's the case, then how are you going to do that? So what's your goal and purpose? What's something small you can do to start with that will create a win? The more wins you pile up, the more enjoyable it'll be. You can also, I'll just say this to finish that off. We get overwhelmed sometimes when we have too many things on our plate, too many ideas, too many goals. Pick one. What's one or two that you can create small, like a small step, a small win, a small thing that you can do right now, today, just to get started. The motivation, the momentum. We want momentum. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then how can you capitalize on that? What can you add to that? What's the next step? We want to go ahead and write it on paper if we can. Like, write it down. If you don't write it down, it probably didn't happen. You know, sometimes as counselors, we take progress notes. Not sometimes, but all the time. but we talk about it as if we don't write it down, it didn't happen. So we need to make a documented history or document of it. Write it down, type it down, put it in your phone, wherever you put it. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be the motivating factor, but at least be there as a reminder if you want to look back at it. Okay? So, some tips. Those are 4 questions you can ask yourself. What are you grateful for? What's your goal and purpose? What's something small you can do to get a win? And how can you capitalize on that? How can you build on that? Build on the motivation, the momentum you get behind that. So some tips I wanted to add here. And this is kind of all over the place a little bit, but I'm trying to get a focus of motivation and momentum because we want to do more. What is your idea? What is the thing you're going to do? And then focus on that, right? So tips. Start with 1 or 2 goal focus. We want to be hyper-focused on that thing. That doesn't mean neglect everything else in life. That means with this idea in mind, I want to do more. You can't do everything. Pick one thing. Focus on it. Learn about it. Grow in it. What do they say? It takes 10,000 hours to master something. I can't imagine doing something for 10,000 hours except for counseling. I think that's why when you do something as a career, you tend to become a master of it. And then you do a lot of stuff in graduate school or other programs. Maybe you take a 20-hour course. I think you've done a lot when you take 20 hours. You just focus on something for 20 hours, like studying it, whatnot. You're going to learn a lot of it. Maybe you don't master it, but you become better at it than most if they haven't focused on it for 20 hours. So pick a goal, focus on that, 1 or 2. You don't have to do everything at once. I already said that. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Skyscrapers didn't start in the sky, right? They take time. You got to build a foundation. It has to start somewhere. What are the simple things you can do to build that foundation? Maybe it's just deciding to write some of this down. That could be your start. Write what I'm talking about down. You can go back, click subscribe, click follow, like this video if you want to. I would love that. But at the same time, you can go back and you can rewind and rewatch and write some of this stuff down. Pick what helps you, motivates you. We want momentum, but we don't want to get that until we start. We don't usually, I'm reading some of the stuff I wrote down. Let's be real. But we don't get that until we start moving. Momentum takes movement. Once we start moving, we have to keep some of that energy behind the vehicle. So we got to keep moving, pushing, using some force behind the vehicle until we get up to enough speed or we're going downhill to keep momentum. So some things you can ask yourself, what's going to create a downhill slope for you? Can you find something that makes it easier, right? It's a good question. I can't give you really good examples here, but what is something maybe you can do to create energy or push behind you and then like a treat? But what's something else that could create a downhill momentum for you? Where are you going to get the energy to move forward? Energy is created a lot of time. We got to create it. When something is not fun, it's hard to have energy to do that. Start with something you are interested in that's fun or that you're just interested in. Or make it fun by giving yourself a treat, like we said. So here's an example, like exercise. I don't traditionally like exercise, running. I do like lifting weights, but again, it's hard, it's exhausting. Like if you're not doing it every day, momentum's gone. But there is something I do like. I like playing sports. I like, when I was in college, I would go play Frisbee. It's not Frisbee golf, but ultimate Frisbee. And we would run and run and run. I remember doing it so much one day that I got heat stroke. I didn't know it until I got back to the house, but I was like parched and like got a headache and was feeling terrible. And someone's basically said I had heat stroke and I need to drink a lot. So I did that and I got in a cold shower and whatnot. But it was fun. And I kept playing, even though I was tired, I kept playing because it was fun. Same thing, like flag football, or maybe you just start with something simple like Frisbee golf, right? Or go throw a Frisbee with a friend, or go throw a soccer ball, or kick a soccer ball, or throw a baseball, or something that you can do that's energetic, that allows you to get out and move. Movement is momentum, right? We're talking about that. So we want to implement something that's fun. That was just an example for me. But I think all of this, we want to be more, do more. What's that going to be for you? Write that down. What do you want? We need to get a vision of it and then go forward. So final words, I want you to make a goal. I want you to break it into simple, easy to do parts and start somewhere by making it a game or having fun. Question is what you're going to do. How you think about your day and what you are doing is the most important thing. Do more by creating the future you want. Then take some action. You can do this. So I just want you to work hard on this. I'm going to try to get out of this. So what am I going to do more right now? I'm sitting down to do a video. I didn't want to do that, but how did I get through this? Well, how did I get here? How did I start? Well, the first thing I did was I decided to turn my desk around and create a scene and set up my phone. Those are easy. Those are simple. But the motivation is I wanted to continue with what I said I was going to do. I want to be consistent, but I also don't want to I don't want to fail. I don't like failing, but I want to help others. I want to help you. I want you to get something out of this. And I feel like I needed to get back on and post the video because I said I would. So follow through is a big thing for me. So I set all this up. That was kind of the preparation, the start. I just started doing it, and the whole step of the way, I'm not sure I wanted to do a video, and then all of a sudden I'm doing a video. So the goal was there, but that's simple, right? And I just focused on that one thing. There's a lot of other things I could be doing during this time. So I just wanted to let y'all know I do care about y'all. I want you to be more and do more. What are you going to do that? Write it down in the comments. What's your one thing? What's your focus? I'm not some of these great speakers, but I'm here to help. I am a family marriage therapist. If you're having problems in your family or whatnot, some of the things I talk about on this channel will help you with that. I don't do counseling as an individual through myself. I do it through Legacy Marriage Resources, which is my counseling company. But I do coaching if you need help with coaching. So if y'all need anything, you can definitely comment down below. My website will be in the comments too. So subscribe, follow, like this video if you got something out of it. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care, y'all.